to another video. Now today we are going to take a look at the dollar index. We're obviously going to take a look at the NFP there as well, but the most important thing is we're going to gather that information that makes up the NFP also, just to make sure that we get the best probability in the market. Now, just before we do get started, I just wanted to inform you guys about today's sponsor. It is the FXC Connect, and joining the FXC Academy, you will gain access to the beginners course, intermediary course, as well as the expert course, as well as access to the MetaTrader 4 and 5, as well as market research video. They also provide forex signals on a daily basis, and they've got an economic calendar, as well as access to ebooks and how to manage your account as well. Now I'm going to leave a link in the description below. They do charge a yearly subscription, which is quite affordable, and it would be probably, it would be a good investment for you to make at the end of the day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight into today's video as well. Now, as we can see over here, the dollar index has been trading sideways. Firstly, what we can also see is the market printed this massive impulse, made the correction, and we could see that the market had been stuck within this consolidation from the 8th of March up until the literally for the whole month of month of March. Now, the first data that we are going to look at is from Forex Factory. Now, we can see over here that the expectation is they're forecasting the data to be lower than what it previously was. So previously the data was 678,000 new jobs were created. The forecast is to be lower than that at 492,000. The unemployment rate is expected to be lower than what it was previously. However, if you look at the data that we are going to go over, which is the first data that we are going to look at, is the United States initial jobless claims, and this data basically tells us how many people had filed for unemployment. Now, this was in March, and we can see here it was 188,000 March 20th, and then we had another update over here that came through on the 31st, and we can see here that 202,000 people had now filed for unemployment claims. Previously it was 188,000, actually 170,000. The last report that we got for the amount of people that filed for unemployment claims also increased based off the previous report there as well. One thing to keep in mind, it's obviously important that we are reactive to the data, because even what we realized that in February we also got a high number of the initial jobless claims, but the NFP still came through positive, other than as expected. But this is an indication that there was more people that filed for unemployment claims at the end of the day, and this gives us an indication that we can definitely expect the NFP data to turn out negative as well. We also have the ADP data that came through yesterday. The previous was 486,000. This month came through at 455,000. If you also look at in February it was 475,000. This month it's 20,000 lower than what it was previously, also giving us an indication that we could potentially see the NFP come through with a red flag as well. Unemployment rate obviously had decreased based off last month, based off January into February, and we saw the unemployment rate went from 3.9% to 3.8%. But if you look at this two types of data that we've received over here, it all points out that we can expect the NFP today to turn out negative. But like I said, as always, we have to be reactive. As traders, we have to be reactive, and the best thing that you can do is to not trade what you know or trade what you think is going to happen, but the best thing to do is trade what actually happens in the market, because that's the best way that you are going to sustain and be profitable as well. And what I mean by that, no sell stops and buy stops in the market, because you're just going to make a big mistake on there as well. So from where I'm sitting, I'm expecting NFP to be negative. I'm not sure how much it's going to impact the market, because we still have the US and Ukraine situation that's also moving the market a bit sideways. So that is something that we have to take into consideration as well. If the NFP comes out, which I'm expecting it to be negative, then look, I'm not expecting the dollar to fall, but we can definitely expect the dollar to get weaker in the short term, but the dollar recovers very quick as well. Now, thank you for your time. That's all from our side. You should have a good weekend. Thank you for your time. Once again, go check out the FXC Academy. I'll leave the link in the description below. Thank you for your time, and as always, Cheers for years.